Hello and welcome to another edition of Batavia Muckdog Baseball here on YouTube Live. As always, I am Griffin Delapenna, bringing you along all the action here as the Muckdogs are on the road yet again, the second straight day and the second straight week that we went from Dunfield and Elmira over to Russell E. Dietrich Park in Jamestown. Muckdogs, after losing a heartbreaker last night, 11-7, had again a great opportunity to have another walk-off. That would have been back-to-back nights after Monday's exhibition loss, Monday's exhibition win. You have that loss with bases loaded and another great opportunity to put yourself over 500, something that the Muckdogs still have yet to do this season. Before we have the national anthem, we will give you tonight's Tompkins Bank of Castile starting lineup, starting with, again, Cameron Connolly in the leadoff spot, playing second base, had another great game yesterday with 3 hits. Spencer Marcus will be batting second and playing right field. Abner Benitez moves down to the 3 hole. He'll be playing left field. Charlie Ciccone will be in the cleanup spot, playing shortstop. Danny Burraway is the DH tonight and batting 5th. Behind the plate will be Mitch Fleming and batting 6th. Joe Georgia moves up a few spots after a 3-hit night. He will be playing 1st and batting 7th. The extra hitter tonight will be Blair Frederick, due to him actually being tomorrow's starting pitcher against the Power at home. Had to see a different guy in center field. Trevor Dean will be batting 9th and playing center field. And with Jerry Reinhardt not making the trip due to an injury, Ethan Sarmiento will be batting 10th and having the start at third base. Nathan Hinckley, who we saw have 2 starts so far, very great outings, but just hasn't been able to get on the win column. He is 0-2 so far this season. He's trying to change that tonight, as the Muckdogs are trying to get back to 500, as they currently sit at 5-6. And tonight's win against the tied first place Jamestown Tarp Skunks, after they lost last night to the Niagara Power in Game 2 of the doubleheader. We'll be back in just a minute, as first pitch will be coming shortly from the Tarp Skunks here at Russell E. Dietrich Park. And the national anthem has been sung. We are about to have first pitch here shortly, as Connor McBride will be the man on the mound for the Tarp Skunks here on a Wednesday night in Jamestown. The Tarp Skunks are off to a great start on the season. Currently sit at 7-3. Lost last night in a 3-2 loss to the Niagara Power in the last game of a doubleheader. So we have a first pitch here tonight. Looks at the ball, tells the rubber. And a bad little pitch there. As here on a Wednesday night in Jamestown, not the largest crowd in attendance here so far, but still a lot of time for fans to come to the seats. As the Muckdogs are in their road black uniforms tonight, Jamestown in their home whites, as the Tarp Skunk regime, after being the Jammers for so many years and going through a lot of different name changes and other management, this is kind of the new regime, just kind of like what the Muckdogs are going through here, as both teams are now in the perfect game collegiate baseball league after spending time in the minor leagues affiliated with Major League Baseball. And I feel like both of these cities kind of deal and can adapt a little bit better to the summer leagues better. As our attendance here in Batavia has been outstanding. Still a great brand of baseball has been being played. And we are excited to continue to have the season go on. As I was saying it last night, I feel like we've already been playing a month or two into the season, and we're just 2 weeks in, as it's an adjustment for everybody involved. The game every day, you're really not used to that. Even at the college level, still having off days throughout the week. You do have a weekend series, but even with that, it's not, the long bus drives and back-to-backs on the road with 2-hour bus trips from one side of the state to the other can be demanding. As I feel like a lot of these guys on the Muckdogs are starting to get adjusted to that. But tonight, again, here at Russell E. Dietrich Park, the press box a little bit older up the top, and due to me being the visitor in the booth, kind of got stuck with the less than ideal spot in the press box. So I will try my best to continue to pan the camera so you guys can have a much better view of the field. This is the best still shot that I can really work with at the time. Little update with some of my equipment. I am getting some more stuff in about a week, less than a week now, as with the season going on. Me being a little bit more new with this, as time goes on, I can see the things that are working and things that might need a little improvement. So an audio board to control some of the background noise is going to be a very big help for me, as well as getting some new microphones and some headset mics that will help me with player interviews and giving you guys just even more content. As I've said it a few times, but due to the Muckdogs name change and the turnover from minor league baseball over to the Perfect Game League with the current ownership that we have, a lot of stuff was a long time coming with getting it turned over to us, and one of those things are the old social media pages. So still in the process of getting the Instagram, had the Twitter for a little bit. We will talk about that later, but here is first pitch of the night by McBride. That one's going to be low, as that'll be ball one. As I'm getting more entwined with the score bug, I'm also going to add another element to the mix and also be putting the pitch count in there for you as well. So Cam Connolly, the leadoff man, foul that one off, and it will be a 1-1 count. As the Muckdogs last night losing a heartbreaking game again after being up 2-0, letting up 7 runs in the bottom of the third inning to the Pios, and that's really all that they needed, as they scored 2 more runs in the fourth. And that's just a very big hole that they have been digging themselves in, as that one was nearly fair off the bat of Connolly, as he has been red hot at the plate. He's done a great job. Already has multiple extra base hits in the past 2 nights. And currently, even though he doesn't have as many at-bats as some of the other guys that we've seen be staples in the lineup, he's gotten his opportunity, and he is making the absolute most out of it. Saw him at short in the beginning of the year, kind of seeing him take that second base role with Caden Walton out currently with an injury. So here's the pitch from McBride. That one will also be low. Cam Connolly last night was grinding away at his at-bats, had a great two-strike approach, and even in counts where he found himself down 0-2, he was battling back and fouling off 8 pitches and getting the free pass or having a line drive single. We saw both of those scenarios as that slider will run inside to Connolly, and now the count will be full to the first batter of the game. It will be Connolly, Marcus, and Benitez. Three of the hottest hitters due up first, trying to, again, get ahead, and hopefully the pitching can limit anything else to happen, as that one will be retired by the right fielder, Justin Bailey, for the first out. So here is Spencer Marcus. Currently has the highest batting average on the team. 2 hits yesterday, had an RBI as well. He's done an absolutely great job being one of the leaders on this team. More of the unsung hero. Is not a guy that's going to be as vocal as maybe a Bryce Mortellaro, but he's a guy that everybody in the clubhouse looks up to, and he is a great guy that the rest of the team loves to follow him with the example that he sets for the rest of the Muckdogs as he takes the strike. Marcus currently hitting .450. That one will just be a little low. Johnny Campies tries to frame that one on the outside corner. Can't get the call. So McBride now from Palomar Community College. Just finished up his freshman year there. It's the pitch from McBride again. That one follows Marcus in the box. So again, 2 straight batters, both find themselves in 1-2 counts. Abner Benitez due up next. Currently hitting .348 on the year in 46 at-bats. Marcus has been walked a little bit more than Marcus, so that will deal with a higher batting average, less ABs, and a higher on-base percentage. He'll widen his stance in the 1-2. That one was near the head area. Count is back even at 2-2. Marcus just finished up his junior year. Originally, to start his collegiate career, played at Dodge City Community College in the Midwest, and after lighting it up there, got the opportunity to play at Niagara University and be closer to home, as he is a Canadian boy. So the full count now, back-to-back full counts from McBride. As the pitch comes, that one is lined, and that'll be just over the outstretched glove of second baseman Luke Turner. And that'll be the first hit of the night for the Muckdogs. As Spencer Marcus continues to be hot at the plate, that batting average will increase yet again. And with 1 out in the inning, the Muckdogs have a man on. Abner Benitez now steps in. We've seen Abner come back to earth a little bit in the past few games after red hot at the plate. He's had a few ground outs mixed in there, but still is doing his thing. In the 2 or 3 hole, we've kind of seen that be the more primary location in the lineup for him. As he is a great guy to put the ball in play, get some RBIs. Yesterday, had an RBI on a fielder's choice, as well as an RBI single. And the 1-0 now. One will also be outside from a changeup by McBride. Marcus does have plus speed at first base. Abner Benitez with his money spot, that ground ball to the right side in between the first baseman and second baseman is wide open. Marcus is going to go. Got a great jump. And Marcus steals that bag with ease, even with a strong throw by Johnny Campes. So that pitch was also a ball. Is now they're in a 3-0 count with a man on second base as Marcus swipes his third bag of the year. Man in scoring position. Muckdogs got ahead last night but couldn't sustain that lead for long. So trying to change that tonight. Here is McBride. Will take a few looks at Marcus. Will deliver home. Very high leg kick. Might be one of the reasons why Marcus got the steal sign and had a great jump on it as well. So he has not mixed his looks whatsoever, incorporating a slide step or maybe even a few more looks at Marcus. Takes one look. Middle infielders are playing back. And the pitch will be skied up. That is over the press box. So another full count, as just through 3 batters, McBride's pitch count is already at 16. He still has a long way to go to get out of this frame. I'd like to thank you all watching Batavia Muckdog Baseball here on YouTube Live, as you can catch all the action throughout the year, regardless if we're home at Dwyer Stadium or across the Western Division, as that one will be inside, maybe just a little low as well, as Abner Benitez works the at-bat, and he will be walked. His men are now at first and second with Charlie Skunks in the cleanup spot. Or excuse me, looks like there might have been a change in the lineup since I got the lineup, because Skunks originally, the lineup that I had, was 4th and Burroway was 5th. So must have been a late switch there by Skip Martinez. Maybe didn't want to go back-to-back lefties. That's probably the reason as to why. I'll just have to make that swap in my notes, because I was very confused after writing that down. So Daniel Burroway, not in a slump by any means, but he's been hitting the ball hard. He just can't find the outfield grass, as we've seen, as that one's going to get away from Campes behind the plate. Now there will be 2 runners in scoring position for the Muckdogs. So that's a gift right there for Burroway, as now any hit into the outfield will score 2 with Benitez at second base. So this is a pressure-free situation now for Burroway. He's came up in a lot of spots that they've needed him to succeed in, with 2 outs, and he's been hitting the ball hard. Had a few line outs yesterday, just right to outfielders, and even the ball that was the game-ending double play hit it right back up the middle. Donovan Montgomery makes a great play, and then the game's over. If Montgomery doesn't catch that ball, well, that's getting into the outfield, scoring 2 runs. You're just down 2, and you're really applying pressure at that point, as then it would have just been a 2-run ball game, and Burroway would be standing at first base, would have been the game-tying run. So that's just baseball. Sometimes things just can't go your way. Burroway is a great hitter. We've seen it on display many times this year. Monday night had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. So he is fully capable of coming up in the big spot that they need him to be in here. Shift it over just a little bit on the camera. Burroway in a 2-2 count. Really just can't go down via the strikeout. Just needs to put the ball in play here. As the first baseman is in. Justin Bowers. Anthony Badala getting the night off. As it is Jamestown Community College night here at the ballpark, as their campus is located right outside the left field wall. McBride comes set. Takes a look at Marcus. Here is the 2-2. That one is lined, and a great hit by Danny Burraway, as that one will easily score 2 runs. And just what I was talking about, comparable to last night's scenario, if Montgomery doesn't have that, easily 2-run score. So the Muckdogs get ahead early in this one, as the score will be 2-0 with a 2 RBI single for Danny Burraway, coming up big in that spot. Charlie Ciccone now, who we originally thought was going to be in the 3-hole, or at least I thought he was going to be the cleanup hitter. Was trying to spread out those left-handed hitters just in case if a bullpen that is absolutely loaded with left-hand arms later in the contest. Don't want to make it too easy for them to bring in a lefty, and then you have, a big chunk of guys in the middle of the order that are prone to that dreadful lefty-on-lefty matchup. So smart move right there by Joe Martinez to switch up the lineup a little bit. So if you're looking on YouTube Live, it's just, or on Facebook, of the Tompkins Bank of Castile starting lineups, just flip the 4 and 5 man. As the junior from Wisconsin, Stout, is up to bat with Danny Burraway out there, and the changeup will be outside. It's a little fake move there by Danny Burraway. Might have got McBride thinking a little bit as he heard going, and ball was way off the mark. So the count is 2-1, 1 out. As Batavia is back to a 2-0 lead after scoring 2 runs in the first. That one is out to left field, and that one is going to drop. It's going to get past the left fielder, and there will be a play at third base. Danny Burraway takes the extra bag, and Ciccone will follow. So now, again in that same spot, 2 runners in scoring position for the Dogs, as there is still just 1 out here in the inning. That is a looping single. The 3rd hit of the day for the Dogs. Now here's Mitch Fleming, who is also trying to get things going with the bat. He is going to be tonight's catcher, with Bryce Mortolaro still needing a little bit more rest. That pitch will run low for a ball. So far this season, the Montevallo University catcher and first baseman is hitting 143 in just 14 at-bats, but does have 3 RBIs and has been walked 4 times. So he is in a 1-0 count here. The pitch will also be outside. A nice play made by Campies to make sure that Burraway doesn't easily score on the pass ball. 27 pitches already for McBride. He is running into some trouble here in the inning, as the Muckdogs are already up 2-0, threatening to score some more, as that pitch will be chopped away and off to the left side, but foul in a 2-0 count. Muckdogs really taking advantage of this situation so far. Working at bats, rising that pitch count up of McBride. So now here is the 2-1. Fleming will not swing. That one will run high. And the next pitch will be the 30th already for McBride. As Joe Georgia, who had a 3-hit night last night, was critical to the bottom of the lineup, kind of starting things up for the Muckdogs in that late game rally yesterday. And that one, the 3-1, sky high, out into right field. Chasing after it is Bailey, and he will come down to catch it. The throw will be in the baseline, not coming home is Burraway, so a nice play there. On the run is Bailey, as he had to run a long way for that one. So 2 down now. Still in a great position here for Joe Georgia to bring in some of these runs. Coming into this game, McBride had 4 innings pitched, and he has not allowed to run, but that is not true anymore, as he has already let up 2 earned runs so far in the top of the first. That first pitch will be high to Joe Georgia. Loves to do damage early in the count. We've seen him have multiple first pitch swinging singles so far this year. In 11 at-bats, he's hitting .455 with 5 hits, scoring 4 runs. Like I said, he's kind of the guy towards the bottom of the lineup that's getting things going. He's not driving in runs, only has 1 RBI, but he is doing great things at the bottom of the lineup and somebody that Skip Martinez can really rely on. So now Georgia finds himself in a 1-1 count. Blair Frederick. The EH tonight is on deck. That one will also run high by McBride. Frederick will be tomorrow's probable starting pitcher for a home game against the Niagara Power, a team that last night split a doubleheader with the team the Muckdogs are facing tonight, the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. They won that second game 3-2. That pitch will be in the dirt. Georgia is telling Burway to hold tight at third, as that one was blocked by Campies. So another 3-1 count. Muckdog hitters really working the at-bats and waiting for their pitch, as we have seen their offense get back to their old ways that we saw in the first few games of the season. Yesterday, yeah, you lost by 4 runs, but they only had 2 less hits than the Pioneers. Elmira had 15 and 13 for the Muckdogs, as Joe Georgia works the at-bat, and now the bases will be loaded with Blair Frederick in a great opportunity, as ducks are on the pond all around for Blair Frederick. Again, another guy that's been hitting the ball extremely hard, just like the man at third, Danny Burraway, but just hasn't had the success or the output that he's looking for with balls finding the outfield grass. As in 8 at-bats, Blair's just hitting .125, so he's 1 for 8, but again, he had that game-ending double play with a ball ripped back up the middle against Geneva with the bases loaded and 1 out, similar to last night. And let's see what he can do here, as that one will be on the outside corner for a strike. McBride trying to get out of this early jam that could really put Batavia in the driver's seat for a while, gaining that momentum that they're looking for. So the count is 0-1. The pitch from McBride swung on and missed. McBride trying to get out of it, and he is in a great position to do so, as he already has Blair Frederick in an 0-2 count. Right-hander from Polomar Community College, with bases loaded, 2 outs in the top of the first inning, with the Muckdogs already up in this one 2-0. Bride gets the sign. He will deliver home, and that pitch will be in the other batter's box, so the count is 1-2. Frederick, one of the older guys on this team, has a lot of collegiate experience. Playing for the LSU Tigers in his freshman year, had a lot of success there at the Division I level. Decided that he wanted to stay home in New Orleans. Didn't want to be at LSU anymore, so he went to Xavier University at Louisiana, as McBride strikes out Frederick with the bases loaded. A tough position, leaving 3 men on base, but your Muckdogs still tack on 2 runs in the top of the first, with a 2 RBI single by the Elvin Community College first baseman, tonight's DH, Daniel Burway. And now we will see what Nathan Hinckley can do on the mound for the Dogs in the bottom of the first inning. As tonight's Muckdogs starting pitcher, Nathan Hinckley, is ready to go. We'll talk about the Keystone College right-hander for a little bit. Just finished up his junior season at the Division III powerhouse. He's standing at 6 foot, 240 pounds, originally from Bradenton, Florida. In his junior season that he just finished up, pitched 53 innings, resulting in a 6-1 record with a 3.57 ERA. But in his first 2 years at Keystone, had a combined record of 12-3 with a 3.4 ERA. So a very reliable guy. And we've seen him go deep into games against Geneva and then in the middle of last week as well. And just had one not even blow-up inning, but didn't really have the run support that he's also used to having that we've seen with this Muckdog offense in other games. So he's currently sitting at 0-2. Had a great first start against Geneva. Ran into some trouble in the middle of last week in his last appearance, but still has an impressive ERA. And he's not a guy that is going to fill up the stats sheet with strikeouts. He is a pitch-to-contact guy, as we see there, and Charlie Ciccone comes down with it as he gets his first out with a line drive off the bat of Hayden Hunt. And something weird with Hayden Hunt, he has absolutely been on fire against the Muckdogs every single time that we've seen him play this year. And looking at his stats, he's really only excelled with the bat against the Dogs, as they have him so far this season at 157. So doing a lot of damage against the Muckdogs. Still a great center fielder at junior college at Chattanooga Community College. He hit .321 this past year, so obviously is a great hitter and should be getting a lot of Division I looks with this experience this summer. The foul ball in the first pitch to Mark Tucker. Back-to-back balls by Hinckley. So the count will be 2-1. And that one, Hinckley tries to put his foot up to stop it, and it will not hit him as the number 2 man in the Tarp Skunk order, Mark Tucker, with a single. So far this season, the Muckdogs are down in the series against the Tarp Skunks, 2-0, as the first game between them was played at home at Dwyer Stadium in the opening weekend. As the Muckdogs lost that high-scoring affair 12-10. And then last Tuesday, Jamestown had their home opener on the 80th year anniversary of Russell E. Dietrich Park. And they won that one single-handedly, stemming off that 5-run bottom of the 5th inning. As the Muckdogs were held scoreless in that one, 9-0. So trying to flip the script against the Tarp Skunks, who are tied at the top of the West Patriot Division, that they call it here in the PGCBL. With the division standings tied at first at 7-3 are both Jamestown and the Geneva Red Wings, both teams that the Muckdogs have not been victorious against. Elmira is just a half game back, sitting at 7-4, a team that Batavia does have the advantage within the season series, 3-2. Batavia is in 4th place at 5-6. The Niagara Power, who after tonight will be in a home-and-home series against Muckdogs. Is that one another pitch over? That was the 4th or 5th of the at-bat. I don't think Joe Georgia was ready for it, as a strong throw by Georgia will make sure that Tucker doesn't think about going to third, but he still gets an extra base, as Georgia couldn't come up with that pitch over by Hinckley. A little low in the dirt. We're going to say that be an error on Hinckley. I've seen that with a few other Muckdog pitchers so far this year, missing the mark, trying to keep the man at first close. Tucker at second. First pitch after all of that will be upstairs. So the count is 2-1 to the number 3 man, Luke Turner, not to get mixed up with Mark Tucker, the man on second base. Count is 2-1. Hinckley gets the sign. He'll deliver home. That one is shot deep in to the left center gap. Chasing after it. It's top of the wall, and that one's going to be gone. And Luke Turner got every stitch of that one, as that one was shot deep into the gap. Let me mind you, this is the deepest field in the PGCBL. And that one was a rocket off the bat of tonight's extra hitter, Luke Turner. So with one swing of the bat, Jamestown will tie the game at 2 apiece. As again, that's another reason why, if you're the Muckdogs, you wanted to cash in some more runs there, as Turner on second, or Tucker on second, excuse me. Turner drives him in with the home run. So now here is Danny Hosley playing third base. Seeing that be his primary spot since he has reported for the Tarp Skunks. From Norfolk State. That one is a dribbler, and that's going to get down as well. A little looper into center field. Another reason why so many hits are here at Dietrich Park is due to the fact that it is just such a deep outfield. It's 3 straight hits from Tucker, Turner, and Hosley. Now with another opportunity for the Tarp Skunks as Hosley gets on after the home run by Luke Turner. That one is smoked up the middle. So the first pitch seen by catcher Johnny Campies, he also will reach on a hit. So now Jamestown has the advantage in the hit category as they have 4. That'll be 4 straight hits now. It seemed like his stuff in his last start wasn't breaking as much as it was, as Hinckley again relies on his off-speed pitches. Not really a big swing and miss guy, but he pitches to contact and gets a lot of weak contact most of the time. But there are some days where stuff isn't breaking as much. You're not getting those change-ups for big swing and misses like that, as Colby Avon just did. Tonight's DH. He's also a catcher from Nova Southeastern. Now Hinckley with 2 men on. Still trying to get a double play here to try to get out of the inning and stop the bleeding with the score tied 2-2. 1-1 count, 2 men on. As Hosley and Campies reached base with singles. There is another changeup that gets way too much of the plate. Coming around to score now will be Hosley. And there's an RBI single for Jamestown to now take the lead. So already in the top of the first inning, Jamestown scores more runs than they did all yesterday against the Power, as there are 5 straight hits for Jamestown. Avon gets the RBI. And Jamestown is up in this one with some men now trying to get warmed up and heading out to the bullpen. It just not be Hinckley's night. First pitch to the left fielder, DiMaggio Cazares, will be low for a ball. Still 2 men on. Trying to keep things going as they are going to go. Trying to get in a hot box now was Campies just trying to read Hinckley, and that was an interesting out to run into there. So good job by Ethan Sarmiento to say step off, as well as Charlie Saccounty that are on the left side of the infield that saw Johnny Campies, the catcher, dart for third, catcher from Wagner. So he'll be out on the base pass, makes things easy as that one is hit out into center field. Chasing after it is Trevor Dean, and the inning is retired. So Hinckley gets a little gift on the base pass from Campies and then gets the pop fly to retire the side as Jamestown still makes their mark and answers after Batavia was up 2-0 after a Luke Turner 2-run shot into deep left center. And 5 straight singles for the Tarp Skunks. So they will find themselves up so far with 1 inning in the books, 3-2. So after a very eventful first inning for both teams, as there is a combined 5 runs and 8 hits between the both teams, Connor McBride will still be out there for the Tarp Skunks as number 9 and 10 men in the Muckdog order are up first, as Trevor Dean will step in. The San Diego, California native. attends Washington and Jefferson College. Getting the start tonight in center field, as he is just a part of a stacked outfield. It's very tough to find playing time with as much talent that they have out there. There's a lot of pitches already for McBride. This will be his 40th already. Hinckley, yes, he has let up more runs, but at least hasn't been as many pitches due to the fact that he's letting up a lot of base knocks in the first few pitches of the at-bat. And the difference maker for Jamestown was that two-run shot by extra hitter Luke Turner. So here's the 1-1 to Dean. That will be a great slider on the corner for a strike. Ethan Sarmiento due up next. Two guys that trying to make their mark, make an impression on Skip Martinez for them to be penciled in the lineup a little more as that one swung on and missed. A big cut by Dean. And there is a strikeout. As Dean be the first out of the inning, now with Ethan Sarmiento up. Ethan Sarmiento now from Monroe College. Previously played at UMass Lowell for the Riverhawks. As that 0-0 pitch will run a little too close for comfort to Sarmiento. So trying to get things going with the bat, as he did have a hit in the exhibition game that doesn't count towards his actual perfect game stats, so he's still looking for his first official hit here of the 2021 season. 1-1 to Sarmiento. And that pitch will be a slider in there for a strike. As McBride really seeing a big difference in the amount of strikes that he's throwing, as well as his determination and posture on the mound. Looks like he means all business now. So here's the 1-2. Another slider. That one looked low and inside. Sarmiento can't believe it. And back-to-back strikeouts for the Tarp Skunks starter in McBride. So now here is Cam Connolly. Was retired on the fly out to Justin Bailey. You start out the ball game. First pitch to Connolly will be fouled away. We have seen him continuously grind away at bats and really just wait until he gets a pitch he likes. Makes the pitcher make a mistake, and he will make him pay for it, as that one will also be fouled away. Chasing after it was Bowers, but way up there in the bleacher seats down the first base line. So this would be a great momentum booster and confidence booster as well for McBride if he can go 1-2-3 after giving up 2 runs on 3 hits and getting out of that bases loaded jam with 1 out. So here is the 1-2 after that one again ran up and in on Connolly. No infielder playing second base tonight. We've seen that be his position. He gets the pitch from McBride, and that one way out there. Definitely lost some grip on that one because that was right in between the dirt patch that used to be used as the on-deck circles and Connolly in the box. So that one was way off the mark. And now if you're Connolly, you have no idea what to expect here, as he has been lights out so far this inning, and then he has a pitch like that. Really don't know what to expect. But here is the 2-2 from McBride. That one fouled away. And let me tell you, I know I'm doing some of these pitch counts in 2s because with all the other things I have going on, trying to make sure that the camera's good, that I'm keeping score properly here on my book as well as the score bug, and still getting used to having the pitch count here as well. So my apologies for that. But here is the 2-2 from Connolly. That one way outside to make it another full count as McBride just eclipsed that 50 pitch mark. Finally trying to get on with 2 outs in the top of the second inning. And here is the payoff pitch from McBride. That one is lined over too short, and that one will eat up Chase Carlson at short. A nice line drive by Connolly. And that will keep the inning alive. And still waiting confirmation if they're going to give that an error. Yes, they do. So that'll be the second Tarp Skunk error tonight. And here is Spencer Marcus. Marcus did have a single, a stolen base, and later scored. So here is McBride now. First pitch swung on, fouled back by Marcus. Connolly will reach base with 2 outs, allowing Marcus to do some damage here. No 1 count. Connolly takes an extra step on his lead. McBride delivers. That one will also be outside. It is a 1-1 count now. Here in Jamestown, New York, the second time we've made the trip out here so far. They will be coming to Batavia later in the weekend. Is a great jump by Connolly, and that one fouled away by Marcus. Looks like McBride really has to change up his delivery and his looks, because that was a great jump by Connolly. He could have probably got up there standing, as McBride does have pretty high leg kick, but also really hasn't even looked at the man at first base with 2 outs. He's trying to focus on Marcus the hitter, I guess. He's hitting over 450 on the year now. So 1-2 approach now from Marcus as he widens his stance, gets lower in his crouch. That one bounces before the plate. Nice block by the Wagner College catcher, Johnny Campes. The count is 2-2. Really struggling to put this inning away after getting back-to-back strikeouts. McBride running in to some issues here. He has a 2-2 count. He will take a look over and throw over to Connolly. First time we've seen him do that so far today. And some fans saying something to Spencer Marcus. Here is the 2-2. Another great jump by Connolly and another foul ball by Marcus. Again, Connolly looks like he's doing the pacer test right now, with just running back and forth. He will come back to first base. In the half inning, I'll show you guys assistant coach Tony Brewington wearing a sweatshirt. Might be a little too cold from the Florida man. There's another great jump, and that one's going to hit Marcus on the back foot. So Connolly would have been there easily, but with a pitch that was going to be behind Marcus, the second of the inning, instead it clips him. Abner Benitez also scored a run so far today. It was back in the first after being walked. Here's Abner Benitez. 2 men on, Connolly and Marcus, on first and second. Benitez steps in, trying to regain the lead in what already is a pretty high-scoring game this early in the contest. Benitez will take a first pitch on the outer half for a strike. Don't see anybody really active in either pens right now, even though some turbulence for both starters. That one will be fouled away by Benitez. Oh and 2 with 2 outs, trying to get out of a jam. And if he could get Benitez out here, would leave a total through 2 innings of 5 men left on the base paths. Benitez trying to work the count here. He will call time, or Johnny Campes will call time behind the plate. And we'll be ready to go here. As McBride gets the sign, he'll take a quick look at Cam Conley. And the high leg kick, he will deliver home. That one is hit on the line to Mike Tucker, and he'll just throw it to second, but almost in time with Spencer Marcus, so the inning will be over. Muckdogs trying to work some 2-out magic, come just a little short, as Batavia still finds himself down 3-2. Jamestown trying to go back out there and put some more runs on the scoreboard in the bottom half of the inning. And Justin Bowers will be the man for the Tarp Skunks to lead things off here in the bottom of the second inning. Justin Bowers from Division I school, North Carolina Central, hit .201 in 17 games this past season. That pitch will also not be in there for a strike by Hinckley. He's the type of guy that likes to work fast. Pitch. That one will be on the inside corner for a strike. Big tempo guy. Wants to make the hitters in the box feel a little bit uncomfortable. And guys that work fast are normally the ones that have to be a little bit more crafty. So it's a 3-1 count to Justin Bowers. First time that we've seen him in action so far this year. That one will also run low, so the leadoff runner will get on after the walk by Nathan Hinckley. That will be his first walk of the night after letting up 5 hits, 4 of them singles, with one of them being a home run over the wall. As Mitch Fleming gets adjusted, he's ready to go. As there is an announcement for the Muckdogs, as they did just sign another catcher to the roster, a teammate of Ethan Frasca at USC Union. His name is Trey Skidmore, a catcher. Hits lefty, throws righty at 6'2", 205. Very excited to have him, as we've seen Bryce Mortellaro miss a few games with injury, and Joey Battaglia really dealing with some lower body injuries right now, and Mitch Fleming not being a straight-up catcher. It's a great opportunity for Skidmore, who was interested in joining the team, to come here. And we are excited to have him. He actually did travel today. He's not in action so far, but he is actually warming up AJ Winger in the bullpen as we speak. We're excited to have Trey with us. I'm excited to see what he can do. He's played this past year at University of South Carolina Union, a Division II school that Ethan Frasca also attends. Here is the 2-1 after looking at Bowers. Bowers is going to go. That one is hit into center field. And halfway goes Bowers, and Dean barely has to move to get that out for the first one of the inning. So now the number 10 man in the order after Chase Carlson hits a fly ball into center field will be Justin Bailey. Justin Bailey leading the team in batting average for the Skunks. And the first one swung on and missed. Bailey at the bottom of the lineup, but still a guy that can do some damage. He's hitting .455 so far for the Skunks. Now is 0-1. Hinckley ready to go. And the first one, a great circle change right there, called for a strike. Hinckley's kind of setting in a little bit after that leadoff walk and allowing 3 runs in the bottom half of the first inning. It's an 0-2 count, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Hinckley continues to try to keep the Tarp Skunk runners close at first base. As here's Bailey at the bottom of the lineup with Hayden Hunt due up next. And that one's hit into center field. Charging after it is Trevor Dean. He comes up, makes the play. He's going to throw the ball over to first. But back in time will be Justin Bowers. 2 outs now, as 2 catches back-to-back by Trevor Dean. And now here is Hayden Hunt, who again has had a lot of success against the Muckdogs. But against other teams, really hasn't done a whole lot at the plate. Hayden Hunt, a guy that we've seen lay down a lot of bunts in situations where you normally wouldn't lay down bunts based off where the third basemen are playing. We've seen Jamestown play some small ball at the top of the lineup. And there's the 1-0 in there for a strike. As head coach Jordan Baisley not afraid to be a little out of the ordinary with some of his decisions, especially on the base paths. Head coach at nearby Jamestown Community College, also coaches here in the summer for the Skunks. That one hit over the head of Sarmiento at third. And nice play by Abner Benitez to limit the damage there, as that got away from him and into the outfield corner. That could have been a bad scenario, but now there's just 2 runners on after the single by Hayden Hunt, as he again will continue to succeed against the Dogs. Pick up the 6th hit for Jamestown so far tonight. And that one swung on and hit towards the Muckdog bench. Mark Tucker had the first hit of the night for Jamestown and started a barrage of hits for them. Mark Tucker hitting .286, Turner at .419. Pitch again, that one hit foul down the first baseline. In the 2-hole, Tucker having a lot of RBIs as he already finds himself with 8 on the year. Pretty impressive from the middle infielder from North Georgia University. As an 0-2 count from Hinckley. He will get the sign from Mitch Fleming in the pitch with runners moving as that one is going to be in shallow center field. Calling off the middle infielders will be Trevor Dean, and he catches all 3 balls this inning as your score will still be 3-2 in favor of Jamestown as Nathan Hinckley allows the leadoff walk, but then gets out of any further damage as there are 2 complete innings. And now heading into the 3rd, the bats up for the Muckdogs will be Danny Burroway, Charlie Skunks, and Mitch Fleming due up first for the Muckdogs. And here back in the 3rd inning with coverage of your Batavia Muckdogs here on YouTube Live. Jamestown will have a new pitcher as Evan Harrison comes into the game. He is a pitcher from Gannon University, a Division II school in Pennsylvania, part of the SUNYAC Conference. As with 62 pitches and just 2 innings, McBride's day will be over, and that will be a foul ball off the foot of Burroway, who had that clutch 2 RBI single back in the 1st. The reason why there are 2 runs on the scoreboard for the Muckdogs as he was stranded at 3rd base with the bases loaded. There's a changeup. That'll be strike 3. Looked like it was a little high. Not a fan of the call was Burroway. There'll be 1 out in the inning now. So 3 pitches and a strikeout for Harrison. So comes in and does his job. So now here is Skunks. That one will be a little too inside against Charlie, who is listed as a utility guy but has kind of found his home at shortstop. That one is built in. into the outfield, and what a play made by Justin Bailey. Let me mind you, not sure if you can really see it, but zoom in. That says 342 down the line. 342, which, I mean, that is a long way away down the line and just shows how deep it is here as the dimensions across the diamond. In right field, 342, like I just mentioned. Deep into the right center gap is 414. And straight away center field has to be right around 420, with it coming back and a little bit normal in left field as it's 325, but pretty deep in the gaps as Mitch Fleming's first pitch to him is a strike. That one will be fouled off his foot to make it 0-2. Evan Harrison coming in, doing his job. Strikeout to start. And then County hits a deep shot into right field that at Dwyer Stadium could probably be over the wall or off the wall, and the 0-2 will hit the big man Fleming, as again they will have a 2-out base runner. If Fleming is hit by a pitch, Joe Georger comes up now. He also reached via the walk. Here is the contact machine, Joe Georger, from Washington University at St. Louis. A late addition due to them being in the Division III National Championship. Big swing and a miss. Johnny Campy's now throw it back and try to nab Fleming, at first base. The throw will be a one-hopper, and looks like Fleming was going to be back there in time anyway. So with 2 outs, here is the left-handed hitter, Georger, with Mitch Fleming on first. That one will also bounce to the plate, but great block by Johnny Campys. Count runs to 2-1. As, I'm sorry, folks, I am doing a horrible job trying to keep mind of the pitch count as well. That one swung on and missed. Did a good job with it that time, though. Count will be 2-2 to Georger, who is hitting .455 so far with limited ABs. If he keeps swinging it like this, he will be a staple in the Muckdog lineup. That time, Wait out in front on the changeup, but he fights it off, and he will stay alive. As Harrison, again, similar to Hinckley, how he throws, not a guy that's going to overpower you by any means, but has great command, great location of his off-speed pitches that will have deep flyouts that we just saw with Skunks. Because that one is hit on the ground over to the second baseman, Mark Tucker, and that'll be inning over. So Fleming gets on via the hit by pitch, but again, Muckdogs have another 0 on the scoreboard after putting up 2 in the first inning. As now we'll go to the bottom half of the third inning with Luke Turner, the man that was responsible for the Jamestown home run back in the first inning. Danny Hosley and Johnny Campys due up first for Jamestown. But before we do that, Hinckley gets back to the mound. We'll thank some of our sponsors. Batavia Downs Gaming, Ficarella's Pizza, Alex's Place, Eli Fish Brewing Company, Noah Boy Chiropractic, Tompkins Bank of Castile, United Memorial Medical Center, and New York 529 College Savings. We thank you for your help to keep baseball here in Batavia. We'll be back in just a minute. And here is the power hitting extra hitter tonight, Luke Turner. Luke is a corner infielder that just finished up his sophomore year at Division III school York. A .313 batting average this past year with 2 home runs and 24 RBIs. So Hinckley now finds himself in a 2-0 count to the number 3 hitter in the Jamestown order that has had his number so far up to this point. Here's the 2-0 from Hinckley. One will also run low. Danny Hosley standing up next, and then Johnny Campies. 3-0 will be in there for a strike. And let's see what Hinckley does here. Is that one is hit softly over to the right side. Gloving it will be Georgia. Calling off Hinckley is Georgia, and he will get it himself for the first out. Here is Hosley from Norfolk State. And the first pitch from Hinckley will also be outside. He's not getting ahead in the count, especially with that first pitch. Something that we've seen him do in his first 2 starts, but again, some days you just don't have your best stuff. Still keeping the Muckdogs in this one as they are down 3-2. He'll get a pop-up in the infield on the 2-0 pitch. Chasing after it is Cameron Connolly, and he will get the out. Even though that we have seen a better Nathan Hinckley still being very effective. He already has the first 2 men in the heart of the Tarp Skunk Order retired. Using his defense here, as that one will also be popped up in the infield. Chasing after it is Charles County, and a great 3rd inning there from Hinckley. Pitching the contact. Still actually does not have a strikeout yet in this one, but retires in order Luke Turner, Danny Hosley, and Johnny Campies. After a quick bottom of the 3rd, we will be back here shortly with 4th inning action, as it'll be Blair Frederick, Trevor Dean, and Sorry Menta due up first for the Muckdogs. So before we start the bottom of the 4th inning, we'll look at both of our coaches that are not used to the weather here, as Tony Brewington has on a sweatshirt, and so does head coach Joe Martinez, if we can find him. Yep, there he is. He also has a sweatshirt on too. Looking at my watch, it's only 65 degrees here, so I know that might be a little too chilly for those guys. But back to the action here, as the first hitter here in the top of the 4th inning will be Blair Frederick. In his first trip, we saw the pitcher slash outfielder from Xavier University at Louisiana. Strikeout with the bases loaded. So trying to have a better at bat here. As that one would be check swung. He did go. And the pitch in the dirt from Evan Harrison. Evan Harrison so far this season has a 10.38 ERA and just 4 1/3 innings pitched. The Muckdogs were one of the reasons of that. And the first time that they met the Tarp Skunks back at Dwyer Stadium, Harrison did run into some trouble with the Muckdogs. Getting an early lead in that one, then giving it up, and another game that probably should have been a win for them, as they've had a few other games like that where it just really feels like they've beaten themselves. Hopefully that will not be the case tonight, as here is the 2-2. That's a great slider, and down on strikes for the second time tonight will be Frederick. Sorry about that. Forgot to have the pitches of that entire at-bat, but Frederick will be the first out. Backwards K. Now here's Trevor Dean, who also struck out. All three of these men at the bottom of the lineup went down on the strikeout to McBride in their first trip. Trevor Dean has had a lot of action already in center field. Finds himself in an 0-2 count, or excuse me, 1-1 count. First pitch could have been a ball. 1-1 here in the top of the fourth. There's a great slider that runs just a tad inside. So 2-1 from Trevor Dean. Trying to get another hit on the year. He currently is 2 for 10. Big swing and a miss to even it up at 2-2. So far, 2 for 10, has scored 2 runs and has 2 RBIs. That was in the first game against Elmira that those 2 RBIs came across. And that one will be fouled away by Dean as well. Already Harrison, 26 pitches as the Muckdogs fouling away a lot of pitches, having some long at-bats, but still not a lot to show for it. That one was stung into the gap by Dean. That's going to be extra bases, as Hayden Hunt is extremely fast out there, but still, that's going to be a stand-up double for Trevor Dean, and that was big for the confidence as he gives a little fist pump to Skip Martinez, and Muckdogs trying to get something going here in the top of the fourth. That was a line drive right off the bat of Dean. Would love to see the exit velocity on that one. Here's Ethan Sarmiento, another guy trying to get things going. And that one is hit into the outfield. That one will not get down. A great play made by Hayden Hunt. And it just seems like wherever the ball is hit, Sarmiento unfortunately just can't buy a hit right now. And he is so due for one that in a big spot, when the Muckdogs are going to need him, he's going to come up big. But that process, I've had it before as well, where you just feel like you just can't do anything right at the plate. You're working on your swing, you're fixing things, and you're putting the ball out there. And still, just things aren't going right for you. Here is the leadoff man, Cam Connolly, trying to bring in Trevor Dean at second base. As the first pitch was a strike. Evan Harrison with a man on second. That one swung on it in the dirt. Now Connolly finds himself in an 0-2 hole. Now Here's Connolly trying to protect with 2 strikes. Has reached via an error so far tonight. That one is put into play. Connolly with some speed is going to have to get on his horse. Carlson with the throw, and he's safe. Cameron Connolly with the infield single, showing off his speed there. I'm sorry that you couldn't see that in the frame, but he was there by a step and a half. Some plus speed there by Cam Connolly. As now there will be runners on the corners with 2 down. A lot of speed there on the play. That will be an infield hit. The 5th hit of the night for the Dogs. Now there will be men on the corners with the man that you want up, Spencer Marcus, who I was telling Skip Martinez earlier today when he was kind of making the lineup, and I was actually helping a little bit as that one is driven into left field, and what a grab by the left fielder, DiMaggio Cazares. As there are 2 hits that are stolen by Tarp Skunk outfielders on that play. Cazares and Hayden Hunt charging in to the left center gap. They're actually going to appeal this now, just to make sure if they saw anything else. The umpires will come together. They're going to talk quick. And they are going to say he's still out. A great grab by Cazares in left field. As before we will head into the bottom half of the 4th inning with Jamestown still up in this one. Batavia Downs Gaming. Batavia Downs Gaming and Hotel is the area's premier entertainment destination with great restaurants, events, and on-site hotel. Be sure to check them out at BataviaDownsGaming.com. Ficarella's Pizza. Ficarella's of Batavia is where you can get your fix to satisfy your cravings for piping hot pizza, sumptuous subs, and mouth-watering wings. Every Friday, enjoy Ficarella's fabulous fish fry. Don't forget the fixed plate, fat wraps, and all your favorite pasta dishes. And they have blueberry and raspberry barbecue sauce that tastes great on wings. So when you have that craving for delicious food, get your fix at Ficarella's Pizza on Liberty Street in Batavia. Dr. Noah Hoy Chiropractic. This game is sponsored by Dr. Noah Hoy, the official team chiropractor of the Batavia Muckdogs, located at 184 Washington Avenue in Batavia. For an appointment, please call 585-343-9316. Tompkins Bank of Castile. Tompkins Bank of Castile is a community bank that was founded in 1869. They now have 15 offices in 6 counties across the western New York region. Services include complete lines of consumer deposit accounts and loans, business accounts and loans, and leasing. And in addition, insurance is offered through an affiliate company, Tompkins Insurance Agencies. Wealth management, trust, and investment services provided through Tompkins Financial Advisors. So we thank Batavia Downs Gaming, Ficarella's Pizza, Noah Hoy, and Tompkins Bank of Castile for being some of the best around and great sponsors that we always love to support. As we are here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Nathan Hinckley still on the bump, facing Colby Avon, who had an RBI single against him in his first trip. So Spencer Marcus ripped a ball down the left field line, and this one is popped up deep to Trevor Dean. He's chasing after it, and Dean will grab it as Nathan Hinckley now settling back in. Letting his outfielders do the work as he has retired 5 straight Tarp Skunks in order. 2 great plays made in the top half of the frame, made by the Tarp Skunks. As that one could maybe be a top play. ESPN, if you want it, I can send you the clip. So that first one will be fouled away. Spencer Marcus trying to get things going for the Dogs and bring in that tying run that was at third base in Trevor Dean. And again, things just not going right for the Muckdogs as Ethan Sarmiento as well was stolen away from his first hit of the season. 1-1 will be inside as well to DiMaggio, the man that made that crazy catch. One's in the dirt as well, so 3-1. As it's always interesting, I like to see with pitchers when they have a few like balls in a row, and they're guys that are tempo guys, like to work fast. As that one looked good, but must have been a little high and inside with the changeup. As DiMaggio will be walked and be the first base runner for Jamestown here in the bottom of the fourth. But it's always interesting to see, even though they might be struggling, not having their best stuff, having a few erratic balls not in the strike zone, that they continue to get back on the rubber. They don't really want to collect themselves because that's what they're so accustomed to, is just getting back on the bump and throwing the next pitch, not really thinking about what they're doing wrong or trying to get in their own head. That's just kind of feels right. If you're moving quick, you don't want to change that as well. And Hinckley trying to keep Cazares close at first base. Nathan Hinckley trying to get a double play ball, as that one will be inside. 6 straight balls for Hinckley now. So the man in the box now, Justin Bowers. Bowers, the first baseman from North Carolina Central. So Hinckley with the pitch. That one will be in there on the 2-0. As he is now sitting at 53 pitches so far tonight. And just really trying to keep Cazares close. Every single time he's just getting off the bag and taking a few steps off. Really messing with his timing to get situated and to read and get a good jump on Hinckley, as he's really had these throwovers in bunches to multiple Tarp Skunks already tonight. Maggio Cazares still gets out there with a decent-sized lead, and that one bounces to the plate, going to second. Mitch Fleming with the throw. They put the tag on and grabbing the base, even though he slid over with Cazares. Nice slide there. And a good block by Fleming, just the throw was not in time. So a man now in scoring position for Jamestown. That will eliminate the double play. Up the middle, as it's a 3-1 count after Cazares reads the downward action on that pitch. That one is hit over to Skunks. They're going to throw it over to third as he goes, and that's going to be safe, as Ethan Saramento couldn't get the tag down. Looked like he kind of lost his footing. Tried to put the tag on, and Martinez is going to come out and talk to Hinckley. So that could have been something that, yeah, you want to get the lead runner if you can, and didn't even break stride was Cazares going to third on that chopper. Looked from my angle that, he probably didn't get it down, even though Sarmento's back was facing me, so it was tough to see. We're going to see the entire team get together. Spencer Marcus in the outfield talking to the infielders now. They're going to talk about it, meaning the umpires. Talking to Hinckley, Marcus is going to go back to the outfield. And instead of getting the lead runner out, making it a man on first with 2 outs, they get nothing. Even in that situation, if you're Skunks, yeah, you want to get the lead runner, but you at least want to get an out. Making it 2 outs with a man at third is a lot better with runners on the corners and just 1 out. So now here is the left-handed Chase Carlson. That will be credited a hit for Bowers. They like playing small ball here in Jamestown, as they were thinking about the suicide squeeze with the speed of Cazares. Cazares goes to Wagner as well, with Brandon Dema, as well as their catcher, Johnny Campies. Here's the pitch. That one is hit into center field. Chasing after it is Dean. He makes a diving grab. And Cazares tags, and they're going to tell him to throw it to third because it did kind of look like Cazares was a little early on it as Connolly's going to throw it over. And they're going to say he's safe. It was a nice jump there by Cazares on the sac fly. So, again, that run doesn't score even if you get the out at first. Say that Sarmiento gets the tag down regardless of the situation. You want to at least get an out in that last scenario as now Jamestown is up 4-2. A great play by Trevor Dean in the outfield. And the pitch was low and outside to Justin Bailey. So Bowers is standing at first base. That pitch was fouled and caught by Mitch Fleming. So Chase Carlson has the sacrifice RBI. That was credited to scoring DiMaggio Cazares. And a great night for Trevor Dean in center field. That one will also be fouled by the number 10 man in the Jamestown order, Justin Bailey. The 1-2 count, Hinckley trying to get out of the inning. That one will be lined, and the inning will continue. As there are 2 hits now. With 2 outs. As we thank all of you that are watching Batavia Muckdog Baseball here on YouTube Live. Just looking at the scoreboard, and it was really confusing me because I thought that I missed a run. The scoreboard said it was 3-4. And I was thinking to myself, we didn't score a run in the last inning, as it said that both teams had scored 1 run in the 4th, but they quickly changed that because I thought I was in some trouble or maybe going to sleep. In the middle of the action is now Hayden Hunt, the leadoff man for Jamestown, in a great spot with 2 outs, 2 men on, to try to keep things going. Justin Bailey will increase that batting average closer to 500 now. As there's a great slider by Hinckley, called for a strike. Justin Bailey, a redshirt freshman from North Georgia. A few guys from North Georgia in this lineup today, as well as Mark Tucker. They're going to put runners in action as there's a steal attempt, a throw again on the money by by Mitch Fleming. Ethan Sarmiento can't glove it. He's going to say that's on me, as that throw was right where you want it to be by Fleming. And in this inning alone, 2 runners should have been nabbed out at third base. So now, with a 1-2 count, very bold move by head manager Jordan Baisley there at third to do that, but experience in his runners and has faith in his guys. So there's the pitch in the dirt. Blocked again by Mitch Fleming, doing a great job back there. So Bowers at third. Justin Bailey at second. A 2-2 count to Hayden Hunt, who is 1 for 2 so far today. The pitch is outside, making the count full. That was his 70th pitch right there. So now a full count with 2 outs. And a 4-2 ball game. Batavia trying to get out of this jam as that one's hit over to second baseman Cameron Connolly. That one eats him up. And now going into the outfield, 2 runs will score as both Bowers and Justin Bailey with 2 outs. We're in motion, and Hayden Hunt with a line drive. And 3 runs will score here in the bottom of the 4th inning, as Jamestown put up 3 runs in the 1st and then 3 runs in the 4th. As they will credit that an error to Cameron Connolly, so they won't be earned runs towards Nathan Hinckley. Pitch will be outside for ball 1. So Mark Tucker up now after Hayden Hunt put the ball in play. And they tried to say that he got him. Joe Georgia is very upset, thinking that Hinckley got him and the tag was down. Hayden Hunt is a guy on the base pass that you always have to keep close, as he already has 9 stolen bases so far in this short season. A guy that, look at his lead already as they continue to throw back. Hinckley, again, a guy with tempo, as he's currently getting booed by the Jamestown Tarp Skunk dugout. So the 1-0, be surprised to see him in motion, as he will go. The pitch, the throw down by Fleming, and he will be safe. So double-digit stolen bases on the season for Hayden Hunt. And the count will now be 2-0 as well. We might be seeing the call to the bullpen at the end of the inning is what I'm guessing, as A.J. Winger has been up and getting ready for a decent amount of time now. And the pitch, that one hit into the right center gap. Chasing after it is Trevor Dean, and his busy night continues in center field as he will retire the side. Not after Jamestown again puts up 3 more runs after some debacles, some throws to try to get lead runners at third base, some throws that could have canned runners out at third to end the inning, but instead, all of that, your score will be 6-2 with 4 innings complete, as we will translate over to the top of the 5th inning with Benitez, Burraway, and Sakowny due up for the Dogs. As Abner Benitez steps in, he's ready to go against Evan Harrison. As the Muckdogs find themselves down by 4 runs, as they just can't seem to limit the errors after some base runners get on base, and there is a very distinct trend in the games that they have found themselves down big in. They just can't limit those those innings where we're putting up crooked numbers on the scoreboard. Last night, 7 runs for Elmira in the loss, and they only lost by 4. You take that inning away, it's a whole different ball game. Against Jamestown, they have scored 8 runs against them in 1 inning, 5 runs in the bottom of the 5th the last time that they met. As the count is 2-1 to Benitez. And the 2-1 will be upstairs, so 3-1 now. Benitez 0 for 1. He has walked and scored, and then was the inning ender back in the top of the second inning after he grounded out to second baseman Mark Tucker, but this time he will reach again on a leadoff walk. So here's Burroway again. Struck out looking on just 3 pitches. He was the first man to face Evan Harrison. He is responsible for both runs scoring so far tonight, as that first one will be in the dirt to Danny Burroway, standing at 6'5". 225 is Burroway from Elvin Community College. That one sawed off and going into foul ground over the dugout for the first strike of the at-bat. As this past year at Gannon, Evan Harrison was very successful with a 2.63 ERA in a little over 13 innings pitched with 14 strikeouts. So a good reliever for the Tarp Skunks, as he is lowering that ERA with every 0 placed on the scoreboard here tonight. As before the outing, he was a little over a 10.6 ERA. So Benitez gets his lead. That one will also be upstairs. So another 3-1 count to the cleanup man in the Muckdog order, Danny Burroway. Charlie Skunks up next. He had that deep fly ball into right field that was caught by Justin Bailey. The throw over will not be caught by Bowers. In time was Benitez. Harrison gets set yet again, trying to make sure he doesn't have back-to-back walks, but he will as that one bounces to the plate. And back-to-back walks for Evan Harrison, as we're going to have a mound visit for the Tarp Skunks. During the break, I mean, they're probably not watching right now, but I would just like to commend the grounds crew here at Russell E. Dietrich Park for how amazing this field looks. If you kind of take a quick look around, I mean, this field is looking amazing. They have a grounds crew of, I believe it was 8 guys that I counted earlier. It is actually a really beautiful site here in Jamestown. So a stadium that was built originally in 1939. In the past decade has gone through renovations in different parts of the park, but still has that nostalgic factor. You know that when you walk into it, history has been made here with, them having so many different affiliations with minor league baseball, starting as the Falcons, then with the Expos, the Jammers, Tarp Skunks, and notable players like Randy Johnson, Giancarlo Stanton, Dave Roberts. Some of the very big names that have also played on this field for Jamestown. But after the mound visit, Evan Harrison gets set, and a strike called on the inner third of the plate to Charlie Skunks. That's a pitch that he loves to drive, but trying to work the count here, as he's been raking the past few days, and that is nabbed by Housley, and that will be 2 outs, as things, again, just can't be going right in any way for the Muckdogs. That's a tough one for Benitez, as even if on a line drive you don't freeze, you don't go up, you're supposed to go back. Even if he tried to go back on that, that was just an amazing play by Danny Housley. I know that you guys couldn't really see that, but wow. So web gems all across the field for the Tarp Skunks so far tonight. This lead runner, Benitez, was nabbed. Skunks lines out into a 5-4 double play. So the count is 2-1 to the big catcher, Mitch Fleming. Now the pitch. That one will also be low. The next pitch will be the 50th of the game for Evan Harrison. Burway gets his lead. That one will be chopped. Foul. As there is just a little bit of throwing going on in the Jamestown bullpen. A.J. Winger still active and standing there. He's not throwing right now, but he's still over there getting warm. As the 2-2 will also be fouled near Skip Martinez at third base. Burway at first after the double play line out by Sakani. Here's Fleming. Pitch. That one driven out to left field. That one might get out of here, and it does! Mitch Fleming with a bomb over the left field wall. And we have another Muckdog mash as we've been waiting for Mitch Fleming to get into one. The Monto Valley first baseman and catcher drills one, and the Muckdogs get 2 runs back as tonight's catcher, Mitch Fleming, gets into the 2-2 pitch, and your Muckdogs are only down 2 now. And that one hurts because if Abner Benitez doesn't get nabbed at second base, you're only down 1 run. The first pitch to Joe Georgia, swung on and missed. He wants to have a pitch that he can drive here. 0-1 to Joe Georgia. That pitch will also be in there for a strike. And you just have to feel so happy for Mitch Fleming there. He has had some deep fly balls this year that really just haven't traveled, but that one probably 10 feet over the pretty high wall out there in left field. That one will be fouled away to keep it at 0-2. 6-4 is your score. Jamestown up by 2 in the top of the 5th inning after the long home run ball by Mitch Fleming. In the pitch, that one will be hit softly over to the shortstop, Carlson, and he will make a nice play to get the final out. Not after the Muckdogs do get 2 runs off the bat from Mitch Fleming. Saw a home run earlier in the night by Luke Turner, but now it's the Muckdogs' turn as they just got a big home run from catcher Mitch Fleming to make this game just a tad closer, as your score is 6-4 in favor of Jamestown. Nathan Hinckley's day is done with 4 innings in the books. Now it's A.J. Winger's turn, as the number 3 man, Luke Turner, as he gets some Luke chants. First pitch by Winger will be low. The sidearm pitcher that has been effective for the Dogs so far. Pitches at Texas Southern University, Division I school. That one's in there for a strike. And it's a great guy to bring in out of the bullpen to change not just the speed, but also that arm angle that is not normality anymore by any means. Seeing a lot of guys throw from that arm angle, but also guys, is that one fanned on by Luke Turner. Just like Luke Turner, I was never a fan of hitting off sidearm guys. I always felt like it messed up with my timing. I could never see the ball properly to pick up the spin of what pitch was being thrown. And that's what makes a guy like Winger so effective. So that pitch will be outside for a ball. So Winger from the stretch. That one's hit hard on the ground. Skunks will glove it. Very slick shortstop in Skunks will make the second out. So quickly, 2 outs here. The Muckdogs gaining a little bit more traction. Wow, Danny Housley had that crazy catch. Was just retired, and now we have Johnny Campies, who is actually probably one of the most impressive catches that I've seen so far this year. Has a great arm. As that one is hit over Skunks' way, he'll make a great play as he will go over to his left and throw an absolute bullet to retire Campies, as A.J. Winger goes 1, 2, 3 again with 2, 3, and 4 up in the lineup. Does a great job there as the Muckdogs limit the damage yet again, having a 0 in the score column after they just scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Your score will stay at 6-4 with the Muckdogs continuing to try to get back in this one. Again, with Blair Frederick, Trevor Dean, and Ethan Sarmento due up for the Dogs in the top of the 6th inning. And Evan Harrison will still be the man on the mound for the Tarp Skunks heading into the top of the 6th inning. Blair Frederick trying to get things going here as he has struck out 2 times tonight. I'd like to thank you all for watching another edition of Batavia Muckdog Baseball here on YouTube Live. This is the first pitch by Harrison to start out the 6th. Will run just a tad outside. I'd like to thank you all for coming here and watching your hometown Muckdogs here on the road in Jamestown at Russell E. Diefrick Park. Second time of many that the Muckdogs will be here this year. Great management here. General Manager Jacob is always a very great guy to talk to, as that one is drilled into right field. Chasing after it is Bailey. He's out number one. Frederick got a lot of that one, but again, it's a lot shorter in left field where Mitch Fleming just hit his. It's very deep in right field. We've also seen County have a deep fly ball to right field, but again, nothing to show for it. So now here is Trevor Dean. Trevor Dean had a double in his last at-bat, but was stranded. Was going to come around to score, but a great catch in the outfield. There's another nice hit by Bailey. That's going to get over his head. And Trevor Dean will have another double, back-to-back doubles, as that one to the opposite field. Looked like Bailey didn't really read that one the best off the bat. For such a great right fielder in Bailey, you would be very surprised to see that happen. And just all the great plays that Bailey's made in right, you know, Cazares' diving catch against Marcus in the 5th inning, that you would think to yourself that, wow, you know, maybe at some point their luck or all their great plays are, you know, going to stop at some point. He just did there, as Trevor Dean picked up another double. And Harrison comes home now, gets a slider as Sarmiento, makes it 0-2. Nice double by Trevor Dean. It's 0-2 with one out. Dean making sure nobody will be holding him. Sarmiento will leave that one in the dirt. So we'll get some encouragement by the Muckdogs bench. So we've seen him kind of expand the zone in situations like that before. Sarmiento, his bat tonight. That one's in the dirt, and not going will be Trevor Dean. Here's Sarmiento. After a fly ball into the outfield that Hayden Hunt tracked down, he will stay alive after he fouls one off there. We're in the 6th inning. Ethan Sarmiento, the number 10 man in the lineup, with a man on second after Trevor Dean's deep fly ball over the head of Justin Bailey. Will now be in a full count, really working the count here. He's getting some encouragement by Skip Martinez. Full count with Evan Harrison still on the mound for the Tarp Skunks. This would be his 4th complete inning if he can get out of it. That one will be hit on into foul ground. Chasing after it is Bowers, and he makes the play. Makes the play in foul ground. As it's Cam Conley now with 2 outs. And the man on second base. Sorry, the score bug never processed Trevor Dean at second base, so apologies for that. So now the first pitch to Cam Conley will run outside for a ball. His last trip had an infield hit, as he kind of hit a weak ground ball over to Chase Carlson at short. Beat out the throw by a few steps. That one will be fouled away. Winger will be back on the mound for the Muckdogs after we went 1-2-3 against Luke Turner, Danny Hosley, and Johnny Campes on less than 10 pitches as well. Pitch runs inside. That was called a strike. To the Pepperdine University commit in Cam Connolly, who has been red hot at the ditch. In a 1-2 count, he's shown that he can hit with 2 strikes. Let's see what he can do here, as he will stay alive with the foul ball. We have a very nice sunset here in the valley in Jamestown. Russell E. Dietrich Park, named after Mr. Baseball here in Jamestown. 1-2, they'll take a look at Dean. The pitch, one swung on and just hit foul. As with Connolly's speed, as that one was gloved by Haslett, he could have guaranteed that Connolly was going to be there in time. So Connolly stays alive. Grab his bat and get back to work. He'll step back in the box. Already has success against Harrison, who he is 1 for 1 against. Here's the pitch. That one will run high. And to no surprise, Cam Connolly working the at-bat yet again. So in a 2-2 count, Trevor Dean takes his lead. Harrison gets the sign. Take a look at the outfielder at second base, and there is a beautiful slider on the inner half. Connolly will throw his bat in frustration, and Harrison gets out of the inning after the Trevor Dean double. So the Muckdogs will still be down 2. And the Tarp Skunks are talking to Joe Martinez again. Which, again, I feel like we've had a lot of disrespect to coaches here in this league from opposing teams. Very odd for him, a Jamestown Tarp Skunk that's on the bench, to say that, as now he continues to make gestures over there on that side. As the man over there that is continuing to run his mouth. So, not too sure why we continue to run into this problem, but hopefully that'll come to an end soon, as we are halfway point here in the 6th inning with Jamestown up 2 and number 6, 7, and 8 in their lineup due up with A.J. Winger on the bump. And to go back to the Jamestown Tarp Skunk that was talking to Skip Martinez, Martinez politely went over to his first base coach, and hollering over was that player and said, "I can do whatever I want." So showing a lot of sportsmanship, and that's great to hear from him, that he can do whatever he wants. So count is 2-0. And Colby Avon gets a piece of that one against A.J. Winger. Count is 2-1. It's the Texas Southern side armor. He's doing great so far, and as I say that, he will let up his first hit of the night, as Marcus does a great job getting around that ball and making sure that Avon doesn't have the opportunity to get to second base. Even gets on. Has his second hit of the ball game. He had an RBI single back in the first. AJ Winger allows his first hit. We might have a pinch runner here. Even will be jogging off. Fumbling through my notes here, try to see who number 8 is. It's Julian Uhima from Quinnipiac University. So Uhima steps in. He will be the substitute for the DH Avon. Have seen him play shortstop in the first meeting of the season. I don't think that current shortstop Chase Carlson was here yet from Lehigh. But Uhima this past year did not see a lot of action at Quinnipiac. Actually did not even appear in a game, as the Bobcats are always one of the top teams in the MAC conference. But this year, just dealt with a lot of COVID-related issues and didn't have the season that they believed that they were going to have, as they were the preseason favorites in the division. Uhima obviously brought into the game for his plus speed. That one is lined over. Joe Georgia will step on the bag. They'll try to get 2, and they'll nail him out. A great play made by Joe Georgia. A heck of a play made by the athletic first baseman to grab that one on a slide on the hit by Cazares, and he'll step on the base and then tagging Uhima that was going to second is Sikowney. So the 3-6 double play. That pitch will be a strike to Justin Bowers. So there's another big swing and miss by the Tarp Skunk first baseman. It's 0-2. Here's Winger now with the pitch. One just a little low and outside to Bowers. Redshirt sophomore. Listed as more of an outfielder, but here's the pitch. That one will go into the dirt. Bowers with the little assist to catcher Mitch Fleming to keep that one in front. Here with 2 down, number 8 man in the Jamestown order, Justin Bowers, in a 2-2 count. That pitch will also be low. Winger losing control on this at-bat after having Bowers 0-2. We'll have a payoff pitch here as Winger will walk Bowers. So 4 straight balls. Be another base runner for the Tarp Skunks. So Chase Carlson steps in now. Tonight's shortstop. That pitch will also be outside. So 5 straight balls from Winger after it looked like he was going to cruise to his second straight 1-2-3 inning. Georgia's holding him on. That is hit right where Georgia mostly plays with nobody on base. And Jamestown picks up their 10th hit of the night, as they have just been a team that continues to put the ball in play against the Dogs. So I do believe that in all 3 meetings so far this year, they have had double-digit hits. So Winger has to try to hold this 2-run deficit where it's at. Doesn't want to let a little 2-out rally occur here. And the pitch to Justin Bailey, who is a great pitcher. That first one will be low and called for a ball. 2 men on in the form of Bowers and Carlson. Sets, delivers his winger. That one is chopped over to the left side. Skunks gloves it. Off balance throw. A great pick by Joe Georgia. And it looks like that was a very interesting call, as the Jamestown first base coach even took off his helmet because he believed that the inning was going to be over and had to slickly put his hat back on to not try to give any indication of what he even thought the call was. So this is going to be the third time of the game that the umps are going to have to get together, as that was a great pick by Joe Georgia. The home plate umpire is saying, look, that's not my play to look at, and they're going to call him safe. And that's a very bad call. And for some reason, this one Tarp skunk is just trying to continue to get involved in things that don't have to deal with him. So the bases will be loaded with 2 outs. Here is Hayden Hunt as the first pitch is drilled under the glove of Ethan Sarmiento. They're going to wave him home, and that just shows when calls are missed, as the ball will then get away, and runners will advance 2 more bases. So again, that just shows what happens when calls are missed. Runs are going to score, and we're going to not give those runs to Jamestown. We're going to give them to the base ump that's standing in the baby blue in the middle of the infield. So 2 RBI single there for Hayden Hunt. And your score is now 8-4. So they really wanted Winger to get out of this inning after he got the first 2 outs, and since then, Bowers was walked, Carlson got a single, Bailey was out, but then was called safe. Then that led to Hayden Hunt getting a hit there, as that one is also drilled, and the inning will continue after the ball can't get there by Connolly. A nice throw by Spencer Marcus, and the ball's going to get away again. So 2 runs will score as Mark Tucker will drive in 2. So yet again, now 4 runs are decided on that 1 call alone. And that is just extremely frustrating. On the first pitch that he sees, both at bats, turns into 4 runs. Here's Luke Turner, the number 3 man in the lineup. So Bowers came around to score. So does Carlson. And Bailey, as well as Hunt. And that one is grounded over to Skunks. Let's hope that he's watching this time, and that will be an out. So 4 runs score after a decisive call that would have gotten the Muckdogs out of the inning. So 4 runs will come around to score for Jamestown, as Jamestown now increases their lead to 6 runs. As 6 innings are in the books, your score is 10-4. Before we go to break, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors: Batavia Downs Gaming, Ficarella's Pizza, Alex's Place, Eli Fish Brewing Company, Noah Hoy Chiropractic, Tompkins Bank of Castile, United Memorial Medical Center, and New York 529 College Savings. We thank you for your support to keep baseball here in Batavia. as Jamestown has taken control in this one with a 10-4 lead. Number 2, 3, and 4 are due up for the Muckdogs. Now here is Spencer Marcus, who was robbed of a play in left field by left fielder DiMaggio Cazares. With 2 runners on, that definitely would have scored at least 2 runs. And that one swung on and missed to make it 0-2. As Evan Harrison is still out there. Nobody actively throwing for the Tarp Skunks in the pen. So that one will be upstairs for a ball. Currently in the standings, Jamestown is tied for first place with a 7-3 record, alongside the Geneva Red Wings, and the Muckdogs are in 4th place with a 5-6 record. So that one swung on and missed. Fanned on was Marcus. And now they have 1 out here to start out the top of the 7th inning. So Abner Benitez steps up. His last trip, he was walked for the 2nd time of the night. But then, after a line drive was hit off the bat of shortstop Charlie Ciccone, was nabbed at second base. As that one hit deep, and that one might get out of here. That one is a fair ball, and Abner Benitez hits one deep into the Jamestown night. That's going to be his 3rd of the year and the 2nd Muckdog mash here tonight. So there's a response by Abner Benitez as he gets his first hit of the night after being walked twice. Abner Benitez makes it a 10-5 game with a deep shot as it is 3:42 down the line, and the ball landed just to the left of the foul pole near the middle of those first set of trees. So a deep shot by Benitez. And now here is Daniel Burway to follow it up. So that's good to at least regain some of the momentum that was lost in the last inning. As it is a 10-5 game now. That one, again, ripped, but just right at the 3rd baseman, Danny Hosley, at the hot corner. He's had a busy day, and there are quickly 2 outs. There's just nothing you can do there if you're Burway. He keeps putting the ball in play. It's just right at guys. Hit hard as well. There's a pitch by Ciccone. That one's fouled away. Abner Benitez picks up his 3rd home run of the year. He's hit one in Elmira, hit one in Geneva, and now hit one in Jamestown. Still waiting for the first home run for the Muckdogs at home at Dwyer Stadium. Maybe it'll come this weekend, as the Muckdogs will play home tomorrow against the Niagara Power. Be away at Niagara Friday, still a pretty close game, and then home Saturday, Sunday, Mondays. That one's again ripped, and it's just one of those nights for Batavia, hitting the ball on the screws, but again, hit right at first baseman Justin Bowers, and sometimes, unfortunately, that's just how baseball is, as it's time to stretch here at Russell E. Dietrich Park in Jamestown. Your score is 10-5. So after the 7th inning stretch, we are here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Take Me Out to the Ball Game was sung by Jamestown legend Scotty James. Count is 0-1. AJ Winger then with a ball low. First man up is man that just had another catch at third base, Danny Housley. And that one just misses for ball 2. AJ Winger back on the mound for the Dogs, even though he was a part of that 4-run last frame. Got 2 early outs, but then just couldn't shut the door. And some controversial calls by the umpires and turned into a snowball as this one's hit over to Skunks. He's had a busy night and another strong throw as he has continued to impress at shortstop, as that's kind of his position now for the Dogs. We get the leadoff man in Danny Housley from Norfolk State. Now here is Johnny Campes. That one's also hit into play. Over to AJ Winger. He's going to glove it, throw it over, and a quick 2 outs. So same situation as last inning, though. 2 early outs to the 2 first men he faced. Then just couldn't get out of the inning. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. So we're looking, it's going to be Hatred O'Shaughnessy from Youngstown State. As they get things ready for him. Would have been Julian Uhima, but he was just the pinch runner last time for Colby Avon. And his night was over after being nailed at second base. So that will be a strike to O'Shaughnessy. Just to go to Mercyhurst Northeast Community College. And that was at Youngstown. I believe their mascot, is the Penguins, if I remember correctly. And the pitch from Winger will also run outside. So 2-1 to the pinch hitter in O'Shaughnessy. There is strike 2. 2-2, 2 outs. As AJ Winger shakes off a few pitches. And he will deliver home. That one swung on and missed, dropped by Fleming, but it will be inning over as AJ Winger, after running into some trouble, the 6th inning goes 1-2-3 for the second time tonight, as 7 innings are done here in Jamestown with the Muckdogs. Down 5, still 2 more chances for them to get back in this one, as they will now have up Mitch Fleming, who hit a home run in his last at-bat. Joe Georger and Blair Frederick due up, as I believe we will be having a new pitcher for Jamestown. here in the top of the 8th inning as we have more Batavia Muckdog coverage here on YouTube Live. New pitcher for the Tarp Skunks will be number 31, Christian Lewis, who is entering his freshman year at Oakland University. Before we see Lewis's first pitch against Mitch Fleming, we'll thank Ficarella's Pizza. Ficarella's of Batavia is where you can get your fix to satisfy your cravings for piping hot pizza, sumptuous subs, and mouth-watering wings. Every Friday, enjoy Ficarella's fabulous fish fry. Don't forget the fixed plate, fat wraps, and all your favorite pasta dishes. And they have blueberry and raspberry barbecue sauce that tastes great on wings. So when you have that craving for delicious food, get your fix at Ficarella's Pizza on Liberty Street in Batavia. We're ready to go. You're in the top of the 8th inning with the Muckdogs down 5 runs. As Abner Benitez in the last inning hit a solo shot deep into right field, as that would have been way gone in Dwyer Stadium. As it's deep down the line in right at 342. And he, again, hugged the foul pole for the second time this year. Did the same thing in Elmira with his second home run of the year. And the second pitch by Lewis will hit the backstop. So Mitch Fleming trying to be the headlight as he steps way in the batter's box. Stepping over the plate now, basically. In the 2-0. Pitch will be down the middle for a strike. Fleming with that 2-run shot deep in to left field, shaded down the line as well. That's only 325 down there. Big cut there as Lewis looks like he's throwing pretty well out there. Probably right around 90, maybe low 9s. So it'll be Fleming, Georgia, and Blair Frederick. And that one will be spiked in a ball. Lewis walks back to the mound, and he will have himself his first full count of the night. With Jamestown up 10-5. So far this season at home, they are a perfect 2-0. One of those wins coming against the Muckdogs in a 9-0 defeat last week. And that pitch will be low and inside for a walk. So Mitch Fleming will get things going here with the leadoff walk. That is Fleming's second free pass of the night after he was hit by a pitch in an 0-2 count back in the 4th inning. Excuse me, the 3rd inning. Now here's Joe Georgia having definitely a different night compared to what we saw in Elmira less than 24 hours ago. As Georgia has reached base once on a walk in his first trip, but has grounded out twice since then. Now here you will have an 0-1 count with no outs. One man on in the top of the 8th inning. Facing Christian Lewis as that one is hit, shaded up the middle. They'll get one. Carlson, the throw over, and there is a double play. Mitch Fleming is saying that they didn't get him, and Tony Brewington is also saying it as well, as our base ump tonight is having a little bit of trouble, and they're going to talk to him yet again. As when they come together and he's not, very sure about his call, and they're going to say, yep, he was off the bag, so they are now 1 for 4 on calls tonight. Maybe a little bit different. I don't remember the actual percentage, but the one at second will be out in Fleming. Bowers couldn't keep his foot on the bag. So Joe Georgia still on base. As a pitch to Frederick will be a strike. Here's Blair Frederick, also trying to get his first hit of the night. He struck out twice and flew out to deep right field. And that one will also be outside. So Joe Georgia taking his leads against Christian Lewis. First time we've seen him this year. Finished up his senior year of high school. Georgia on the base pass, as that one will be low to Blair Frederick. Makes the count 2-1. So Frederick up now. Trevor Dean on deck. He's 2 for 3 tonight with 2 doubles. But unfortunately for Dean, he has been stranded twice. Has made impression, though, on the coaching staff with his performance tonight. Getting the start in center field. Played great defensively, and obviously with the bats, he's doing very well, too. So, count is 3-1 to Frederick. Trying to get a pitch to drive here. Doesn't want to ground into another double play opportunity that we just saw with Georgia. Lewis gets the sign. He'll deliver home. That one way outside. And now will be 2 men on. Trevor Dean, who is hitting in the 9-hole, but is doing a great job putting the ball in play, hunting pitches that he knows he can drive, and we're going to have a mound visit. One man is warming up. Can't tell the number due to sometimes it's tough with the black numbers, or excuse me, the blue numbers on the back, but then the skunk tail along the back kind of shades off the second number if they're double-digit guys. As here in the press box, when Evan Harrison was throwing this entire time, they thought it was Justin Giuliano, even though Justin Giuliano is a left-handed pitcher, and Harrison throws from the right side. So seems like Lewis is going to be back in. He's good to go. As there are still some Jamestown fans in attendance. Not too many that decided to stay here tonight. Jamestown, if they win this one, not too sure. I'll check in the half inning how Geneva's game is currently going, but they could have the outright lead of first place if the score stays the way that it currently is. So here's the first pitch to Trevor Dean with 2 men on. That one's hit into center field. First pitch he sees. Being waved around to score is Joe Georgia. And have a night, Trevor Dean. 3 hits and just picked up his first RBI since game 1 of the season when he had a 2 RBI single. So 1 run will score off the bat of Dean. Makes the score 10-6. And a third of the hits have came off the bat of Trevor Dean, as the team total is now sitting at 9. So Ethan Sarmento. It's a quick conversation with Skip, maybe thinking about putting down a bunt here. Moving the runners, gaining some confidence as well. As Frederick now standing at second. Dean, the man that just had the RBI single, at first. And Sarmento at the dish. And that one swung on and missed the first pitch that he sees. Blair Frederick taking a look at Skip, so maybe thinking about putting down a bunt here. Not too sure. And Sarmento is in the box. Lewis gets the sign. Muckdogs trying to cut this deficit yet again. And that pitch fouled away. So it's back-to-back nights that Batavia has an early lead in the first inning, and then tonight it was just a little bit quicker that they lost that lead, had to play catch-up, and the score was at 6-2. Seemed like things were in striking distance. And the 2 runs by Mitch Fleming made it 6-4. Then after that, 4 runs in the inning, and that one is hit over to Carlson, the 6th, and they will not get one. They try to nab Blair Frederick at third, and the throw back and just in time as Frederick realized Joe Martinez a heads-up play there. And he did get his hand back, and our played up made sure that he saw that one clear as day, because if he didn't see that one, he probably never would have heard the end of it. Sarmiento grooving down the line. He will reach via the fielder's choice. Dean was nailed at second, with Carlson throwing it over to Turner. That one fouled away by Cam Connolly. So still in a situation for the Muckdogs to do damage with 2 outs, runners on the corners, and the leadoff man, Cam Connolly, due up. So Muckdogs have left a lot of runners on today. In the top of the first inning, left bases loaded. They left runners in scoring position in the second, 2 men on. So that one will be low, 1-1. Back in the fourth inning as well, they left 2 runners on. Trying to make sure that is not the case right here. Cam Connolly watches that pitch as it is outside for ball 2. Looking at bat yet again is Cam Connolly. Cam is going against another incoming freshman, Division I player as well, and Lewis. That one called on the inside corner for a strike, makes it 2-2. And they need him here, as seeing him come up big in so many situations at such a young age. See what he can do here. Count is 2-2. 2 runners on, 2 outs in the top of the 8th. That one fouled away. Cam Connolly fighting, as always. So Lewis will get back on the mound, trying to get out of the jam, as if the runner at third scores, makes it only a 3-run ball game. Heading into the bottom of the 8th inning, that's a lot different of a game. And Lewis, that one check swung. He did cross the plane, and they will get out of the jam yet again. So the Muckdogs strand 2 on the base pass. Cam Connolly is very frustrated with his at-bat there, and we'll head into the bottom of the 8th inning with the bottom half of the Tarp Skunk lineup due up. We will see A.J. Wenger go back on the mound for the Dogs. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, left fielder DiMaggio Cazares will lead things off for the Skunks. They are now up in this one 10-6. So a quick reminder for those of you that might not have been watching. Jamestown scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning after they had 2 outs in the inning, retired the first 2 batters by A.J. Winger as he gets another ground out there. But retired the first 2 guys and had 2 runners on and then got a ground ball hit over to Charleston County. He's made a lot of great plays tonight. This one, the throw was just a little low. Joe Georger made a great pick. Seemed like the runner was out. Inning was going to be over. No runs were going to score. As that one hits Justin Bowers in the back of the foot. That one not very comfortable for Bowers. Hopefully he'll be all right. After that ground ball was hit and the out was made, great play by Joe Georger. Looked like the inning was going to be over, yet he was called safe on the play. And because of that, the inning kept going and 4 runs would later cross. So if that call was changed, and umpires sometimes, it's always said like one little thing can change a ball game. This is a great example of that, because if that out call was made, the score is 6-6, and that is a lot different of a situation than the Muckdogs currently find themselves in, as looks like A.J. Winger's night is going to be done after hitting Justin Bowers with 1 out in the inning. And now it's George Osborne's game. Pitcher from Alcorn State University. The left-hander, originally from Detroit, Michigan. Pitcher that actually just entered the transfer portal. But here tonight, Tarp Skunks, currently sitting at 7-3, would go up to 8-3 if the score stays the same way. Muckdogs would go down to 5-7 and still be in 4th place in the division, heading into a very winnable weekend for them as they go into a home-and-home series against the Niagara Power, a team that they have played only once so far this year, but beat 10-5. So they will play again at home on a Thursday night, Thirsty Thursday, at the ballpark. $2 drafts. It's going to expect a lot of adults having fun at the stadium. So that will be an exciting night at the ballpark. Friday night, they will be away with the 6 o'clock start at Sal Magley Stadium. And home for the weekend, as they will face Jamestown yet again. And they will also host Niagara on Sunday. So Niagara 3 times, a team that they've already beat once and is lower than them on the standings. You're hoping for a 3-game sweep against them. Hopefully, they play Jamestown later in the weekend. They can get some revenge and get their first win against them on the season if they cannot tonight. They'll be back home on Monday in an exhibition game against the Pioneers, a team that they lost to last night. George Osborne on the mound. Still have Carlos Rodriguez warming up in the pen, probably just getting his arm loose, as if he does not pitch tonight, he will be absolutely pitching tomorrow. As the first pitch by the lefty, George Osborne, is going to get away from Fleming. As that's the first lefty that Fleming, again, who is not a everyday catcher. It is a lot different of a spin when you get a ball like that that's looking like it's going to be on the inside corner. You go to the outside corner, just hits off the palm of the glove. So now, Bowers, who was not limping or anything, thankfully. That ball's in the dirt by Osborne. And that one just hit Mitch Fleming. And hopefully he's okay. That hit him right in the forearm as he threw down his catcher's mask in frustration. Hoping our catcher is okay. He's trying to shake it off. Hopefully a trainer is going to come on here, as now she is. That one just bounced. Great block by Fleming, but did not get it with the chest protector. Got it right in the forearm. So now they're just doing some tests, trying to test his grip strength, see if anything's broken. Mitch Fleming appears to be okay. Very tough guy behind the plate from Batavia University, originally from Georgia. He was telling me a crazy story the other night that when he was 16, he was actually hit in the face by Jack Leiter, who pitches now at Vanderbilt and is going to be the top 2 or 3 pick in this year's MLB draft, which is pretty crazy, and thankfully he's okay. After that scary incident, he had the video of it and everything, and Jack Leiter at 16 years old was throwing 90 miles an hour. So that just shows the athletic freak that he is, and a nice block by Fleming. Here is Carlson now in a 3-1 count to the first batter that Osborne has faced. In the 3-1, that one's in there for a strike to make the count full. That one great for the confidence, getting great located fastball on the inner half, called for a strike. Here is the full count from Osborne. The pitch. Check swung. We're going to say that he went. He did go. And believe that Carlson was just going to try to go down for the free pass. But it was officially ruled by our base ump that it was a check swing that crossed the plane. Now there will be 2 outs. So first man that George Osborne faces, will be a strikeout. It will be Justin Bailey, the number 10 man in the lineup. Does have 2 hits tonight. That one's a strike with a man on third in Justin Bowers. This will be his 3rd trip of the night after being walked. One is also a strike. So 0-2 to the number 10 man, who is leading the Tarp Skunks in batting average at .455. From North Georgia University, Division II school. And the 0-2 swung on and missed. And George Osborne comes in, leaves the runner stranded that A.J. Winger hit. We will go into the top of the 9th. Again, a situation that by no means is not possible for this Muckdog team, as they will face Marcus Benitez in County. We'll see if Lewis will be back on the mound or not, and it appears that we will have a new pitcher on the bump for Jamestown. Quickly see again, it is a little tough with their jerseys. I believe it'll be Matt Henson. I'll try to get confirmation for that, and we will go into a quick break. We will be back shortly with the Muckdogs trying to score 4 runs to make this go into the bottom half of the inning. And after Sweet Caroline is played at the ballpark, we are here in the top of the 9th inning on YouTube Live with more Batavia Muckdogs baseball coverage. I'm Griffin Della Penna, bringing you along the call for the rest of the 2021 season, whether we're home at Dwyer Stadium or if we're on the road in places like Russell E. Dietrich Park, as that one is hit by Marcus, hit softly over to Tucker, and Marcus will be the first out. In to pitch now for Jamestown is the side armor, Matt Henson. Henson so far this season is 5 for 5 in save opportunities. And he is a junior from George Mason University, but this past year with them, he had a 7.6 ERA. He's really excelled being the closer for Jamestown. Tonight is actually not a save opportunity, with it being a 4-run lead for them. And Abner Benitez now, after hitting a home run in his last trip, is quickly in an 0-2 hole here. So here's the 0-2 from the sidewinder. That one's hit into left field. Under it is Cazares. And 2 men up, 2 men down for Matt Henson, who's just getting some extra work in this one. As with 1 out remaining for the Muckdogs to score at least 4 runs. Now with Daniel Burway up, he's been robbed of a few hits tonight. Lots of hard line drives for tonight's DH. And the next pitch, 0-2. So Matt Henson gets back on the rubber in a 0-2 count. And the pitch, that one inside. This is Start the Buses chant from some Jamestown fans, as the Tarp Skunks looking to go 3-0 at home and 8-3 on the season, as that one's hit on the ground out Chase Carlson's way. He will glove it, and that will be the game. Matt Henson is just talking crap to Joe Martinez about something, and that will be the game, as Jamestown will go to 8-3 on the season. The Muckdogs go to 5-7 on the year. We will have a 2-game losing streak now for the Dogs, as Monday's exhibition game did not count towards their official standings. They'll go back to work tomorrow against the Niagara Power in a home-and-home series. That'll do it for tonight here at Russell E. Dietrich Park. Signing off, I'm Griffin Della Penna. Please have a great night, and we will talk to you tomorrow back home at Dwyer Stadium. We'll see you then.